Hi, I'm Adrito, and these are the reasons why you should study physics at university. I'll be covering what would make you a good physics student, the kind of topics that you'll cover, career prospects, and my own personal thoughts. For context, I studied mathematics for my bachelor's degree, but I did do a conversion year of the third year bachelor's degree in physics and then did a master's in astrophysics, so I know a reasonable amount of what a physics undergraduate degree involves, and now I'm doing a PhD in artificial intelligence for neurosurgery. Physics as an undergraduate degree is quite similar to the physics that you studied before university. However, the real difference is the amount of mathematics you're going to have to do, which is incredibly important in modern physics. Let's take Newton's second law as an example, which at school you'll have learned as force equals mass times acceleration. However, the full version is force is equal to the time derivative of momentum, where momentum is velocity times mass. Of course, if mass is constant, this simplifies to force equals mass times acceleration. However, when mass is varying, such as in the case of a rocket where fuel is being ejected, you need to take this into account, and you have to solve the subsequent, slightly more complicated equations. If you think that solving these equations is fun, and you want to apply this to a real-world application such as a rocket flying through space and exiting Earth's orbit, then physics is the subject for you. There are three general categories of topics that are going to be studied in an undergraduate physics degree. That is experimental physics in the lab, the mathematical methods that you require in all of physics, and of course, the actual underlying theoretical physics. Labs, as the name suggests, is when you go to a lab and do experiments. So for example, completing an electric circuit and doing experiments on this, doing data collection from these experiments, writing it up using the scientific method as researchers would do, and then doing some analysis on this data, which in the modern world means a lot of programming, or in particular Python programming. Mathematics covers the various methods that you'll be using in the actual physics, as well as giving you a deeper understanding into the theoretical side of physics and where these equations actually derive from. Then you have actual physics, how solid objects move in Newtonian mechanics, how non-solid objects move in fluid dynamics, how electrons move in thermodynamics and electromagnetism, how fundamental particles move in quantum mechanics, and how gravity bends space-time. Once you have a core understanding of these fundamental subjects, you can then apply the physics to other areas. So in astrophysics with early universe formation, or in medical physics with medical scanning, or in clean energy with nuclear fission and fusion, as the case may be, and a bunch of other really interesting subjects. In terms of career prospects, physics is brilliant. You can go into any of those interdisciplinary subjects that I just mentioned, but you can also go into computer science, or into economics, or even pivot to maths. If you want to get a job straight after a physics undergraduate degree, then it doesn't really set itself apart compared to the other STEM subjects of maths or statistics or engineering, but what does set itself apart is that you've actually applied a lot of these mathematical concepts and problem solving skills to real life applications, which you haven't really done in the mathematics degree, and in the engineering you might have done that a bit too much. What makes physics different is that in the modern world, data manipulation is so important, and having an undergraduate degree in physics gives you those skills. Personally, I did my master's in astrophysics, and then I did a quantitative software developing job in finance, and now I'm doing a PhD in artificial intelligence. In that way, an undergraduate physics degree set me up for basically any mathematical subject that I wanted to go into. I thoroughly enjoyed studying physics at an undergraduate level. You learn how the world, how the universe works, and it's just so cool how planets, stars, and galaxies are formed, how there's an actual limit to how fast things can travel or how small things can get. It's just, these concepts are just so interesting to delve deeper into. I hope this video was useful to you, and if it was, a like would be appreciated. I've made a previous video on why you should study an undergraduate degree in mathematics, and I'll be making a video shortly on a comparison between the two subjects. So if you want to be notified for that, or if you just want to follow my life as a PhD student studying artificial intelligence for neurosurgery, then a subscription would be greatly received. Hopefully, I'll see you in the near future.